Jamar named AFC Offensive Player of the Week for the past week for the Steelers game. Does something like that really do anything for you? Is it cool, or what were your thoughts when you first got that award?
It was pretty cool, but still got to go out there every week and prove it again. It's a cool little award, but I don't get overhyped for it.
We're not sure if Sauce is going to play. When you watch it, what stands out about his game? What makes him special?
Real handsy corner. One of the most handsy corners I've seen in the league. Always gets his hands on as a receiver at the line. So that's how he plays the best.
Does that excite you when you see that kind of thing on tape, or you know it could be a physical matchup?
No. I wouldn't say it's exciting, just like preparing for a handsy corner. Not all corners play like that, you know what I'm saying?
What's it been like getting just additional time with Flacco in practice? Kind of have you sensed the difference now that he's been here a little bit longer? Y'all are a normal week. Finally, has that made a big impact for you?
Honestly, it's starting to feel like he's been here. He still calls the plays how he calls the plays sometimes. He might mess it up every here and there, but honestly, it still feels not comfortable in the huddle with him, hearing the plays. Feels like he's been here before.
What's it feel like to know y'all are a game away from being back to 500 after having that rough stretch just a few weeks ago?
That's what we want. To be honest, I don't know nothing about the 500 or nothing like that. But we want to win the next game, win the next 2 games. But we got to focus on the first one first.
Do you think Joe's injury puts you on a track to being a leader? I mean, you were emerging as a leader, but his injury fast track it, to put you in a spot where maybe you didn't think you'd be.
Yes.
In what ways?
Just being more vocal and really just doing everything right. I feel like I've always did majority of the things right here, but when Joe's not here, majority of the guys look at me now. Then when Joe's here, everybody look at Joe and ask Joe stuff. So it just I have a big say so, and the guys respect my opinion.
With Flacco coming in, and you really have to kind of help the guy. Did that accelerate it too?
What you mean help him?
You know, you have to help him with the playbook. You got to help him. Did that accelerate it?
It depends. Because if we get a long play call, then he might mess up. He might say it backwards, or he might say it in a different way. But we still know what he's trying to say. We don't correct him, but we just go out there and line up in the right formation. As long as he gets us to play in some type of form that we know it, then I think we'll be fine.
When you talk about being vocal, being more vocal, you're talking about, is that like holding guys accountable, or is that just being encouraging? Like what type?
All of the above, everything. Everything that comes with being vocal. You know what I'm saying? I gotta small things like practice. You know what I'm saying? If one of the receivers messing up or they ran something wrong, I'm gonna speak up and let them know. Or even if it's a certain way we're running a concept and it needs to be ran with a certain release form, I would speak up. So certain stuff like that is when I would speak up.
Jamar, who taught you to be an elite blocker, or where did you learn that?
I wouldn't say I'm an elite blocker. Okay, that's a little pushing it.
Who taught you to be an okay/decent blocker?
I will take the decent. I'll take decent. I got a lot. I got a lot of room to improve. I already told Chase this. So, but it honestly it takes effort. You know what I'm saying? You look at Riser from the last game. His effort is every play. So it takes a lot of effort and will and want when you're playing out there.
When you're watching film, though, and Zach talked about illuminating when you were blocking downfield in the last game. Do you get just as excited when a coach calls out like how well you blocked versus maybe a good play call for a touchdown?
It's really rare when they do that, though. You know what I'm saying? It's rare Zach puts me on spot and say, "Good job blocking." But it's just cool. I don't know. I find it funny when he does that sometimes.
Did anybody say anything to you after that? Like, did any linemen say anything to you? Have they said anything about that?
No.
You mentioned Reisner, Flacco's down the building. Is there stuff that you gain from how these guys have operated as pros in the league that you kind of have picked up and you'd like to incorporate in how you want to, go about your career when it's all said and done? Like, are there things that they do that you kind of have noticed and you like and want to incorporate?
From other players on the team?
No, from those from some of the vets, like Reisner, Flacco, some guys who've been around the league for a while.
It's a little harder when they play a different position. You know what I'm saying? Because around that time, I'm mostly asking them life questions. You know what I'm saying? They didn't been there. They didn't seen a lot. If I want to talk to a veteran to help me I mean, Flacco will still help me, but I feel like I want to talk to more of a receiver veteran to give me more of an aspect on what I want to know.
Well, the live questions, I mean, it's still applicable. Like, are there things that you want to, like, what are you picking their brains about in terms of, what they've done, what they've experienced?
I mean, earlier today I asked Flacco something just like about his kids, you know what I'm saying? But nothing really much. I don't really ask Flacco too much of stuff like that.
Did you see yesterday his clip that went viral about going to a restaurant and sitting by himself and how? Okay, well,
No, I'm not on social media. I'm not gonna lie.
have you done that? Gone to a restaurant by yourself and just been able to take a breath?
By myself?
Or, yeah, you had that phase of like.
Of course not. I would never go eat by myself.
Why not?
I could do that at home.
If you walked into a restaurant and you saw Joe Flacco sitting there by himself, would you join him or just be like,
I would tell him, bro, we gotta go get in the back room or something. You don't need to be in the front, you know?
Jamar, what's the biggest number of catches you think you could get in a game?
26. I mean, I left a lot out there. If I'm being honest, I left a lot out there. But I doubt I was really gonna get 26 though. But probably like 17, 18.
You don't think you can get 20?
Yeah. I mean, the sky's the limit. At the end of the day, the sky's always the limit. But it's not gonna be easy. I'll tell you that. Like, I don't want bubbles as 5 catches, 10 catches. You know. So.
Is it on the mirror? Yeah. Do you have something like that in the mirror? Like
No.
goal?
No more goals are up.
No more?
Super Bowl.
That's it.
That's it.
What about this falls in line with the Jets defensive coordinator was talking about you, and he said already on the track to be a Hall of Famer. Is that a goal of yours?
To be a Hall of Famer? 100%, yeah. Yeah, but I can't talk about it. I gotta just let my work do the talking, you know?
do you have Super Bowl written up on a sticky note?
Yes.
And that's the only one?
Only one.
What do you make of Garrett Wilson's game?
Of Gary Wilson's?
Yeah.
He reminds me of Devontae Adams a lot. You know, they move very similar. And he make a lot of good contested catches. That's what I see a lot from him, yeah.
Do you feel like there's a lot of receivers around the league who have the potential to be really good, but maybe just not in situations where they can kind of display their talent? Do you feel like that's kind of common?
I mean, yeah, you could say that about anybody. You know what I'm saying? That's an opinion also, but you can say that about anybody in any organization they play for.
After the game, and this is after you had 26 catches with Flacco, Zach said you had taken 5 live reps. I mean, how does that happen? Do you take 5 live reps with a guy, and he looks like he's been throwing to you forever? How does that happen?
That's a Flacco question, 100%. I don't know.
He just said it was because, great receivers and Higgins and Chase. If you don't
throw to him. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would assume he expects us to be open. That's the biggest thing.
But like when you do a speedo, right? I mean, that's doesn't that? I mean, that's a training thing, right?
Yeah.
But you guys must have completed 5 or 6 Thursday.
I don't think we threw one speed out before I caught any speed outs with him, if I'm being honest.
What's that?
I don't think I've practiced and caught a speed out with him until the game.
But you can caught 5 in a game. So how do you do that?
I don't know. He's a good quarterback. That's also a good thing. A good quarterback makes the receiver looks good. Good receiver makes the quarterback look good. So we just complement each other.
He said you didn't. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go.
He said you didn't bobble that one. He said you were changing hands.
The one on the sideline?
Yeah.
I was confused. I do it all the time on the catch. I catch it and switch my hand every time, but I don't know.
You used to talk to us about individual goals and things that you would put on the sticky note. Now you look at not only that, but other things that we've spoken to you about. You look at it through the lens of, like, what's going to get us to a Super Bowl. What has changed the way you view things? Like, what's changed the lens in which you look at things?
Me doing personal accolades didn't get us to the Super Bowl, my rookie year. But I just had a lot of adrenaline wanting to play that year. Not saying that that's the reason why, but it don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I just need to be a leader and hold myself accountable and make more plays. But what I worry about the accolades.
What do you think is going to be the biggest thing that keeps the offensive success rolling these next couple weeks as you kind of get into the bye?
I would say being consistent on moving the chains. That's the biggest thing for us. Being consistent on moving the chains to get us in position to score a touchdown.
What does that entail? What is that? How do you what's the biggest? Because Zach talks about that all the time. In your mind, what's the biggest thing about being consistent and getting first downs and kind of finding a good rhythm offensively?
Catching the ball, making one guy miss, drop stepping fast, getting extra 2 yards after contact, 3 yards after contact, stuff like that.
What has Joe brought? He's been here for 16 days now. Obviously, your offense has picked up, but how would you describe what he's brought to this locker room and team?
For being honest, Joe barely talks in the locker room. He talks more on the field than the locker room. But he just brings the veteran mindset to the game from the quarterback position and knows what he's doing when he sees it. That's the biggest thing, you know. It feels like Joe when he's out there just because Burrow. It feels like Joe Burrow when he's out there just because he knows the cadences, he knows the gap schemes, the blitz schemes, the pickups. So he does a great job on knowing all that.
Has anything surprised you about Joe Flacco since you started to work with him? I know it's only been a couple of weeks, but your impressions of him before versus now?
I think he just keep amazing me. I never grew up watching Joe Flacco for real. But he keeps continuing to amaze me every day, you know, every week.
What does he do? What does he do in that way? Like, why is he like you don't
Everything
say
he
that
does, just the way he approaches the game.
What are the toughest catches you make? Normally.
Toughest catches I've made in the NFL.
In your mind, what goes into difficult?
What goes into it? Really, just a lot of hand-eye coordination, and attacking the ball. You know, those are the main two things. Attacking the ball can either draw a flag or make the catch easier. Hand-eye coordination is just, of course, going to make the catch easier and get the defender off you.
Do you normally think about making a catch in traffic versus when you're wide open? Is it ever?
I don't think about neither one of those. I'm really just focused on the ball for the most part. I'm going to get hit regardless, so you're either going to drop it and get hit or catch it and get hit.
Did you give Flacco a hard time about his reaction on the drop of the game on the field?
No, I never even approached him about that, if I'm being honest. And we watched that in the meeting room with the receivers. That was pretty funny.
What was the reaction like?
That means I need to catch the damn ball when you throw it, I'm being honest. But that's just pretty cool, though. You know what I'm saying? A quarterback like that believes in anytime he throws me the ball, it's going to be a catch, so it's good.
Is there a bit of an adjustment between how Flacco, because he's got such a big loss, it's different. You throw from Joe and Jake over the years. Is that a big adjustment for receivers getting used to how Flacco delivers the ball to y'all?
No, not really. When we first picked him up, they said he threw pretty hard, but I didn't think so. I think he threw one hard pass to me, and that was it. So, and that was at practice. So,
Sorry, Jamar.
You do jersey swaps, Jamar.
Say it one more time?
You do jersey swaps often after games. What do you do with those jerseys?
really well. I got two more. I got 2 boxes of just jerseys because I don't have no more room in my house to hang up. So I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do with the rest of them yet. Probably put them in my off-season house or something, you know.
Do you frame them?
I frame them though. They all framed. Some got tickets in them. Some got pictures next to them. So it's all kinds.
Why is that important to you?
Just the memories I get to have. Growing up, I've watched players do it all the time, and getting the opportunity to get to the NFL and get jerseys from Devontae Adams and Mike Evans and those guys like that. You know, watching those guys when I was younger it's basically like a dream come true for me. You know, I get to live in a moment for it.
Is there one that's super special to you?
I would say Devontae. And why can't I remember this guy's name? This is bad. Huh? Chargers.
Keenan Allen?
Thank you. I was saying Mike Allen in my head. I'm like, what the fuck?
Why Keenan?
I always loved his routes. I always watched his routes. I always watched his highlights because of his routes. So vice versa with both of them.
Do you guys message each other before the game, or is it just natural after?
It's usually like right after. The only person that Michael was the only person that texted me, that got somebody to text me and ask for the jersey. because he hit me on Instagram and I didn't see it. So that was the only person that ever did that.
Jamar, I'm super curious about this for guys that do jersey swaps,
Mhm.
especially when you're just pulling it off your back and handing it over.
Yeah.
Do you wash it before you frame it or anything, or do you like to keep like the grass?
Well, you're being funny, okay? So it is dirty, but they spray it with a fabric cleanser. So it's like it's not bleach, but it's spray. So the stains stay there, but the smell goes away.
Huh.
Okay? Yeah.
I had no idea.
So the house, I have dirty jerseys, but the house isn't smell, okay? Yeah. It's stained though, yeah. Good question though. Glad you cleared that.
I thought it was.
Windows open.
Nah,
Joe Flacco laughed a little bit yesterday about the fact that his name's Joe and Joe Burrow is Joe. And
Yeah.
how weird has that been, or funny has that been for you? Going from one Joe.
Well, now it gets to a point because Burrow's starting to come back to the meetings, and they say Joe all the time. So obviously we're talking to Flacco, but I be thinking Joe sitting next to me, so I be thinking Joe gonna say something sometime when he's saying his name because usually he have an input, but one of these days I'm sure it'll happen.
Has he been in a better mood over these last few weeks as the injury kind of passes? How's the spirits?
I can
been?
never tell his mood, if I'm being honest. But he seems pretty happy to me, you know? Even though he looked like a rock star by the head, but he's pretty happy.
After all these years, you can't tell his mood.
I can tell his mood when he's overly happy. When he's overly happy, I can 100% see that. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, well, when he's pissed, I for sure know that one. He cursed me out a couple of times, so I know when he's pissed too.
How has he been attacking this rehab compared to he's rehabbed a ton, different
Yeah.
injuries of severity over the years. How's this one been compared to those?
He's working pretty hard for the majority of the times that I've seen him in a training room working. I try to walk in there, give him a couple laughs, so not make his day a little better. But he's working.
Who's the best leader you've ever been around, and you emulate him at all? You try to take something.
That's a good question. I'll probably say like somebody from high school because I've been around Joe my whole life. That's the only guy that was like old enough. TB was here, but TB was TB. Everybody knows TB. And then like college, it was Joe again, and it was like all the guys I knew in high school. So we ended up going to college together. But I would say high school just because of the quarterback that I had. He was always holding accountability for me. Always, even when I was a freshman and a sophomore, always making sure I was on top of everything. And even in high school, I used to be late for meetings, so he used to chew me out as a quarterback. So Chase 4K was one of the guys I say.
So did that get you out? Did that break you with the habit?
No, I was late a couple times when I got to the NFL, but I eventually grew out of it. I mean, you mature over time,
Thanks, Jamar.
Cool.
Thank you, Jack.